Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Illegal Pancakes podcast. Guess what just came out? Oh, damn it.
I think they know from the title of the video.
Yeah, damn it. I was going to do a joke about Resident Evil 8.
Oh.
But I completely had a brain fart, but yeah, they know from the title. Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah.
There's more than one tall vampire lady in pop culture, and you know what? We're gonna go all the way. You know, we started this YouTube channel talking about Castlevania, and we're gonna finish this channel talking about Castlevania. This might not be the last video we ever make, but who knows? We could both die tomorrow. Like, you don't know that.
Yeah. Murder-suicide pact.
Mm-hmm. Heaven's Gate.
Ooh.
Anything like that.
Yeah. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Nope.
Or wear the Nikes. The Nike shoes. All right. So, yep. We are doing a semi-timely review of Castlevania Season 4.
It's better than our Season 3 review. Like, I didn't realize this, but that one came out like a month after the season was dropped.
Well, I mean, there was a lot to unpack there, and granted, there is a decent amount with this season, but I think I processed all of it by now.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know if I have, and hopefully you can help me in this process.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to help.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So we're going to kind of do the same thing with our Season 3 review, where we're going to do a spoiler-laden character or story arc recap by character or group of characters, as well as a good, the bad, and the WTF. Talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, and then things that are just plain weird. And there's plenty of that to go around.
Yeah, is this season weird?
Oh yeah, Portland grade weird.
Okay, so Castlevania Season 3 introduced a ton of new characters, and because of that, there are a ton of character arcs in this one. Each one seems pretty short, but we're going to see if we can recap them all.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert. In case that wasn't clear.
Full spoilers ahead. Should we start? Whose story arc should we start with? Do we just want to start with Trevor and Sypha?
No, let's start with the most anemic.
Okay. Is that Striga and Marana?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the two vampire lovers are back. Striga, the one who's like ripped out of her mind, and Marana, the one that looks like Rashida Jones. So, Carmilla has sent them out on the campaign to go take over the world. And they're kind of like, yeah, we're out here taking over the world, but what if we just retired and just did our own thing? And you go, okay, that's nice. And then, my friends, boom, big anime fight happens. Striga puts on this, like, sick Dark Souls outfit that has, like, a sword that's, like, bigger than clouds. And she just goes to town and kills all these. I don't even know who the people were, but they were people attacking vampires, apparently.
Yeah.
The day armor. Is the day armor something from Castlevania? Or is that, like, totally made up for this?
I think it's kind of made up. The design of it looks sort of familiar, but it was very, like, it was very fantasy anime, so it could have came.
I was kind of like, sweet, I don't have to watch Goblin Slayer anymore. I can just watch this episode of Castlevania.
Don't have to watch Berserk either. Holy shit, the size of that sword.
Yeah, that was a big sword. So, the first thing you'll notice about Season 4 is that it's a lot more anime than the other seasons. And I'll probably go a little more into that later. But then they come back to their castle, and they're like, "Did you hear that? It sounded like Carmilla just got her bitch ass killed."
Yeah,
and they're like, "You want to just get married and run off into the sunset?" Okay, and that's the whole story. This story arc probably could have been cut out entirely, including those two characters. I felt like they had plans to do more with them in Season 3. And then they were like, uh-oh, gotta finish the show on Season 4. Just let them get married and have a good time.
Yeah, because, like, I honestly thought they were gonna, do the same thing that they did with in season 3, where the whole circular dialogue thing with their discussion in the tent, like, oh, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? It's actually like a repeat of another discussion that, like, what's her name? And Carmilla had.
Yeah.
Lenore and Carmilla had, like, in
Mm-hmm.
the same or the previous episode. But it's like, oh crap, not this crap again. But then it gets cut short and, the fight scene happens. Like, oh, that's nice. This is probably going to build up to an epic fight, at some point where, Striga's going to fight Trevor or Isaac.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm. And, like, I don't hate it because it's a very short, it's a very useless arc, but I don't think it overstayed its welcome either. It's not like this thing dragged out very long.
No.
And we got a cool fight scene out of it, and we got a nice speech out of it, I think, at the end.
Yeah.
But I agree with you as well. I figured that, like, Trevor was going to kill one of them, and then the other one was going to, like, want revenge, but no, that didn't happen.
Yeah, it just makes me kind of wonder what they would do if they brought these characters back.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
It's like, well, what are they
not
going to
have kids, I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah, that, but, like, are they just going to, like, chill?
Yeah.
Do what they were doing for... Oh, yeah, they're probably just going to, like, fade back into obscurity or whatever, like they were doing for the time before the series. But, yeah. All right, so who should we move on to next? Isaac and Hector and...
Yes, let's do Isaac and Hector.
Lenore and Carmilla. Holy shit.
So Isaac, okay?
Yeah.
He had a good story arc last season. When I say a good story arc, I mean it kind of sucks because everybody's story arc sucked last season. Oh, I should probably point out, I've had a lot of... I should have started with this. I recently just had facial reconstructive surgery, so if I have, like, a weird lisp or I have a hard time pronouncing something, that's why. I've got a new mouth. I'm still getting used to it. My mouth is kind of, like, chained shut right now, so I can't open it very much. So, forgive me for that. I've never looked better, though. Come on. So Isaac learned that you should just hate everyone and God doesn't love you. But then at the beginning of this season, he kind of realized that all of that wasn't true. Now, I know someone... Okay, I don't know if someone will comment about this. Someone's going to say, well, it's a continuation of his arc from the last season because the boat captain was like, you should be nice. And he decided he didn't want to be nice. And then after killing the Emperor of the Tower with Legion, he realized that there is good in the world. I said in the review for the last season, I kind of wanted to see his character get redeemed. And now that I have seen his character get redeemed, I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Like, I liked it, but I also didn't like it at the same time.
Yeah, so let's kind of, like, let's wait until, like, we're done.
Yeah.
Like, talking his story. So he's at that same city where he, that he liberated. He's having all of his night creatures rebuild it. And the fly one kind of comes up to him and is like, why are you doing this? We don't build, we destroy. And he's like, I don't know, I've had to change your heart, man. Just kind of sum that up real quick. Here, have a berry. Ratatouille moment.
Hey, I have a question. What's your favorite night creature that is in his army?
I really like the one that was like it was like the angel type thing that was like
the one that, like, protects him. Yeah,
because
that one's actually from Curse of Darkness.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to remember. It's like, it can't be like a classic 2D Castlevania character. But yeah, that's actually neat. Okay. Thanks for looking that up, because I would have been like... Yeah,
so in the final boss fight for Curse of Darkness, when you fight Isaac, you have to fight that demon as well.
Okay.
But my favorite is the weird 3-eyed horse snake dude.
Oh yeah, that one's pretty neat.
Yeah, and then when he died, I got sad.
Aww.
That was the saddest death in this season.
I think there's more than one of them.
Yeah, there's like 2.
Yeah. So yeah,
go on.
So yeah, they're rebuilding the city, and then they do that, and then Isaac,
well, he goes through the portal to attack Carmilla's house.
Right.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, while that's happening, Hector's kind of learning to, well, he's trying to rebuild his hammer so he can, or start doing his, making night creatures and stuff. Some weird banter between him and Lenore and stuff, but he's also
he seems like very chill with the whole idea of everything that's going on, because he's still a prisoner, right?
Yeah.
But
he's being held
just
against his will.
whatever. And apparently off screen in between seasons, he's been scheming with a whole bunch of vampire lords to bring Dracula back.
Yeah. So yeah, he's been like setting up traps in the castle, like yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much the bulk of what Hector does. And then so Isaac, invades the castle. And pretty much also sum up Carmilla's arc, I guess, before we get too damn ahead of ourselves. She's gone like crazy, because initially it's like, oh, we want to stop at Europe, but she's wanting to like pretty much take over the world. And Lenore's noticing that, and it's like, oh, she's left to scheme or think, and like, how the hell are we going to be able to actually like pull that off?
Pull this off, yeah.
And yeah, Carmilla has a bit of a bitch fit and goes crazy. No surprise there. And so yeah, then Isaac invades. He pretty much goes to like Hector first.
And then, we were all expecting that this whole show was going to lead up to a huge battle where Hector was going to fight Isaac. And then that's not what happens at all.
No.
Hector's like, sweet, Isaac, you're here. Let's kill all these vampires and bring Dracula back. And Isaac's like, or, we could just not and just move on with our lives. Which I thought that was a pretty cool scene. I like that. But,
yeah.
It was weird, though, because he's like, just make sure you don't kill Lenore, because I love her. No, you fetch and don't.
Yeah, he
I'm just gonna say that now.
He had her in like a laser cage the entire time.
Yeah.
And he cuts off like the finger that
the
has
whole
the will
last
ring.
season was just her like lying and like abusing you, and you're like, nah, it's my girlfriend now. Yeah. Get it? My hammer. It's my penis. Get it?
Yeah, but then another thing. I remember someone like in our comments for our last review was like, "Oh, the will ring." What did he say exactly? I don't remember. So he pretty much removes the will ring by cutting off the finger that it's on.
How do the will rings work? Because like, I forget if it was Striga or Barana. They wore one as well. Like,
I think they both had
people
them.
Yeah. So like, were they under Carmilla's control the whole time or something? Like,
something like that.
Or maybe if you wear one, then you control someone else. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I honestly forget, because it was just kind of like shoehorned in at the end of season 3, and I didn't even bother to rewatch season 3. No. That, and I guess this season, because it's new, are the only ones that I haven't rewatched. But yeah, so like he cuts it off, and so I guess doesn't have to listen to Lenore anymore. And so then Isaac goes to fight Carmilla, and I think Hector sets off one of his traps, and it's like a...
It was a portal, wasn't it? It like allowed him like fast travel up to Carmilla's place.
No, it wasn't really a portal. It just was like a big wall, like light tunnel, laser tunnel. That's what it was. So yeah, it just allowed him to like go there really quickly, and then meanwhile, like Carmilla's like killing a bunch of his night creatures, and then like the room's filling with blood, which is kind of cool. But then they fight.
Really cool fight scene.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty interesting fight scene. Some of the animation's kind of jank, but I mean, a lot of it was for this season. But yeah, I think that was probably one of the better fight scenes from this season.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the peak moments of the show.
Yep.
Cool fight scene. In the end, Carmilla commits suicide, which apparently makes a giant explosion. But
yeah, I didn't get that.
Yeah, Isaac didn't die though, because he got saved by his demon friend. But you don't see him the rest of the show. I think that's the last.
No, you do, because remember he goes to Hector afterwards and talk about living your life and like doing stuff with it or whatever. And then, so yeah, Carmilla commits suicide. Then Isaac and Hector are bros again.
Yep.
And then Lenore commits suicide.
Yeah, she goes and
pretty much.
looks at the sunset and dies. It's in like the last episode.
Yeah, because she pretty much has no purpose anymore. Because Carmilla's dead, Striga and Marana, like,
yeah.
far
But
off.
it's not like a dark suicide scene. Like, it's supposed to be like nice and happy and stuff.
Yeah.
So, in case you haven't picked up, just like Striga and Marana, Isaac, Hector, and sort of Lenore all get happy endings as well.
Yeah.
So, all right. Are we going to move on to Alucard or Trevor and Sypha?
Oh my
Or do we want to do
gosh.
Saint Germain? I feel like we got to do all of those at the same time. So, unlike season
I'm just
3,
thinking about how to do it.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, let's do Trevor and Sypha. I think that's the easiest one on its own.
Okay.
Trevor and Sypha, they've been doing the same thing they've been doing. They're going from town to town, fighting off tons of different night creatures, saving people.
Yeah.
And eventually they get to, I forget the name of the town. From what I heard, they mispronounce it in the show. Because it's a real place.
Targovishta.
Yeah.
Yeah, so before they get there, they find a bunch of, like, they happen upon a bunch of groups that, like, seem like they're trying to resurrect Dracula.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, Trevor's kind of upset about that. It's like, I'm going to be doing this the rest of my life. So, yeah, but they end up in Targovishta because...
Which is where Dracula's wife died.
Yeah, because they, like, find a headstone at, like, one of the, like, places that they go to, and they're like, oh, that's from Targovishta or whatever. So they go there, and then they, like, oh, I don't even remember what they were doing there.
Yeah, neither do I. But eventually they go to Targovishte. They meet, what's that one girl's name?
It's like Zamfir.
Yeah, well, they meet her, and she's kind of, like, sort of in charge of the town. According to her, all the king and stuff have moved underground. But she's doing a really bad job. The whole city is pretty much in ruins. And at the same time, there are two vampires, Varney, and I want to say it was
Ratko.
like Rakto.
Ratko.
Yeah. They both are kind of also sort of ruling over the town. But both of them are doing a really bad job. So Trevor and Sypha are kind of fed up with, like, taking orders from people, and they just kind of want to kill the vampires and get everything over with, but they also kind of want to figure out what's going on in the town. Because they want to make it better.
Yeah.
But eventually they find out that the rulers are dead, and the one fighter chick she's pretty much crazy at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it ends with a cool fight scene where they defeat Rakto, is that his name?
Ratko, yeah.
Ratko, yeah, he's this big Russian vampire. He says he's the best vampire fighter, and yeah, I think so. I think he earned that title. He's probably not as good as Dracula, but, like, you know, he's a close second.
Yeah.
But Varney, that dude is a clown. And I didn't realize this, but Varney is actually taken from some, like, really old...
Penny
like,
Dreadful.
Yeah, Penny Dreadful.
Yeah,
like,
that predates both Bram Stoker's Dracula and Carmilla. Which is crazy. It's like...
Which, I'll talk about that later, I guess. But
yeah, sets a lot of the tropes, too.
Yeah, Varney's kind of been the one that's sort of been behind this whole getting everybody together to resurrect Dracula.
Yeah.
So, after they defeat, what's-his-face, the one guardian chick whose name I can't pronounce, she dies in the fight. Yeah, Zamfir. She dies, but she dies protecting people, so her story arc is kind of complete, where she learns that it's important to protect over the citizens, because before that she really wasn't. So then Varney goes through a portal mirror to Dracula's castle, and to talk more about that, we have to talk about Alucard and Saint Germain's arcs.
All right. So
Alucard, yeah.
So he's
Alucard. Yeah, you go.
Damn it. So Alucard's still been at the castle, kind of hanging out. One day, this guy with, like, It's got like a note telling him to go to a nearby town called Dynasty. Guy's obviously dead, so like to help them. So he goes to Dynasty. I feel like I'm forgetting something.
No, you're not. He goes to Dynasty. He fights a bunch of night creatures.
Yeah.
He meets... Is her name Miranda? Is that the character that's there?
No, her name is Greta.
Greta, that's right. That's right.
Who's
Greta.
like the head woman of this like village.
Mm-hmm.
Who's apparently, it's like full of a bunch of like I guess refugees is the right word, from like all over that have been like dispersed by Dracula's attack, which I didn't realize he made it that far into his plan, but yeah. But
so at that place they meet Saint Germain, who's been chilling there.
Yeah. Who Alucard just pretty much knows like right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's revealed that in between season 2 and 3, Saint Germain has gone through quite the character shift. As opposed to being the nice, loving dude he was in season 3, he's kind of gone to the dark side. So in season 3, he goes through the Infinite Corridor. In season 4, it's revealed that once he did, there was this weird alchemist lady that's like, if you want to find your wife, you have to control the Infinite Corridor, and the only way to do that is to kill a bunch of people, just like the demons did. And he's like, I don't think I can do that. But unfortunately, in his journey to save his wife, he has started, killing a couple people, and he is teamed up with Varney, the vampire, and other people, and now he is going to try to resurrect Dracula, but he needs to get inside Dracula's castle first. So Saint Germain says, hey, why don't we just take this whole village and bring it to Dracula's castle? And Alucard's like, yeah, that's not a bad idea at all. Which, if I was Alucard, probably wouldn't have done that. Be like, nope, there's too much magical powers there.
Yeah. So another person he was conspiring with, I can't speak, damn it. Conspiring with is another like powerful vampire named Dragon, another original character.
Another Avatar: The Last Airbender reject.
Yeah. Damn. So yeah, he's pretty much waiting for, well, he was the one leading the night creatures attacking the
village.
The village.
So we got a really fun episode where Alucard has to take the people through the haunted forest, and he takes them to Dracula's castle just in time for the big invasion to happen.
Yep.
And obviously Saint Germain goes into Alucard's bedroom and starts doing the ritual to bring Dracula back to life. But they're not bringing Dracula back to life the way you think it is. They're doing this weird alchemist thing where they're bringing back, I forget what it's called, but it's like the Great Hermaphrodite, which is like a Frankenstein of like half woman, half man.
The divine hermaphrodite, the rebus.
Yeah, the rebus. And what's cool is that it's an actual like thing from alchemy. Like it, Dude, I'll talk about this later with the good, but the show incorporates a lot of different stuff, which I like.
So yeah, so he starts doing that while the other, I guess they're like night creatures under Dragon are attacking.
Mm-hmm. But it's not just night creatures; it's like a ton. It's like a huge army. There's night creatures.
They're like vampire like warriors too, and then like these vampire
Vikings, and samurai, and like little goblin dudes, and those big guys with the claws. Like it was awesome. Like,
and a freaking Gurgoth too. The biped, the dinosaur thing.
Yeah, the big zombie dinosaur thing. Like, it's a very over the top fight, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
But like I said, while Saint Germain is doing this, Varney comes through the portal. So do Trevor and Sypha.
Yeah, they don't come out at the same spot because apparently it's like wandering. So like, we gotta jump through before it goes away. So yeah, they jump through.
So then they all three buddies get to meet back up. And they have the huge fight where they just kill all the everything. And then that's when the great twist happens that Varney, the comic relief vampire, is actually Death himself. Boom. So they kill Death. And that's pretty much the ending of the show. Saint Germain dies.
Yeah.
But he deserves it because he was kind of bad this season. You think Trevor's dead, but then he's not dead. I assume that Greta and Alucard get married. Trevor and Sypha are gonna have a kid, allegedly. I mean, with all the backflips and stuff she was doing this season, I don't think that kid's gonna come out. And if he does, he's not gonna be normal.
Well, I mean, he's not. He's an in-between Belmont. It's like Dracula gets resurrected every 100 years, so he wasn't going to get his chance.
Mm-hmm. I guess I should talk about that. So they tried to bring Dracula back to life, but they stopped him before they could.
Yeah, they destroyed
the hermaphrodite thing. The Great Hermaphrodite isn't that great. It kind of sucks, actually. It doesn't do much.
He got destroyed by a wine flask full of holy water.
Yeah.
Exploded though. That was kind of funny.
Very ending scene. It's revealed that Dracula is back, but don't worry, he's a good guy now. He's a good guy. Him and his wife are back, and they're just like, let's just be nice to everyone, and that's how the show ends. That's how it ends. Oh boy. Okay, so the good. I realized something, that half the fun of this show is just watching Alucard just kill everything. And Alucard kills a lot in this season. What I'm trying to say is the fight scenes in this season are very, very good. Would you agree with me, Connor?
Yeah, I agree with you. Not just limited to Alucard. I think pretty much all of them around were really good. Still think that
Greta, she's really cool because she's got a hammer and a sword, and she does a lot of cool combos. I mean, this show's always had really cool fight scenes, but this one has a lot of fight scenes. It's a lot of action, and it's all pretty good.
Yeah, I think it definitely makes up for season 3 a bit, which was a bit more.
I think it makes up
heavy.
for the weaker parts of this season as well. It's easy to look past the flaws because the fighting is so freaking cool. Also, the characters are still pretty good. I mean, I don't love all of the choices that were made, but I really like Sypha and Trevor's dialogue together, their interactions. They actually feel a couple that cares about each other. And I've always complained about Sypha because I always think that she gets kind of annoying sometimes, but there was no Sypha cringe this season. There was no lines that she said that I was like, ugh, I wish she didn't say that. Her dialogue was good. I especially in the first episode where she kind of has that meltdown and she starts yelling at Trevor. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, she has her shit together, more than Trevor. She's the one, trying to get the Targa Vista. Oh, damn it. I can't pronounce it either. People to actually not cook where they poop.
Yeah.
And stuff. Well, Zamfir's just standing around.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the characters all have good interactions. This season is the least edgy out of the entire show, I think. I don't know if they just kept Warren Ellis away from the script writing, but when I start hearing Alucard say stuff like God is good, I'm kind of hang on, is this still the same show? And I guess I'll talk more about this in the WTF. I like that, the show wasn't just trying to show off how edgy it was. It was, it was fun. It was a fun season.
Yeah. In a way, I guess the ending of Super Castlevania 4, this is the morning that finally comes to, vanquish the night.
Mm-hmm. The performances are all pretty good. Malcolm McDowell is in it.
Yes.
Varney.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that because I could not recognize his voice. This guy sounds familiar. I have to look it up. It's it's Malcolm frickin' McDowell. Alex from Clockwork Orange and
holy
bunch
cow,
of other crap. It's so
and
yeah.
The jokes are funny. The show is still funny.
Yeah. I think this was the best season for humor, in my opinion, and not all of it was intentional. Yeah. There's a couple scenes when they're fighting Dragon, and Trevor whips him in the arm, and it's starting to explode. He tears it off and then throws it at him.
Yeah, or even just stuff Varney is just this complete clown, but he acts like he's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah,
and then it turns out he's death. So like he was right about him being like the most powerful dude ever.
Yeah, no, the funny thing about that was I was looking at like a Den of Geek article, I think, and I was talking about Easter eggs, and weirdly enough, there weren't that many, or weren't as many from the games. But yeah, Varney was one of the ones they mentioned. It's kind of funny how like no one knows who Varney is in the series, because ironically it's that same way in like real life. It's like everyone's forgotten Varney, even though he used to be kind of big and he said a lot of the tropes.
And like the other thing I really like about the show is like they incorporate a lot of stuff from the games, but they also incorporate a lot of like stuff from alchemy and other vampire books and stuff like that. Like there's stuff from the Dracula books, and it's just got lots of Easter eggs to not just the games, but like to everything. And it's just a fun show, and that's kind of why I really like this show. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else good to talk about. There's a lot of good in this show. The creature designs are really cool. There's a lot of fun ones.
Yeah.
I
thought I had something else good to add, but I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah.
Another like weird, unintentional, funny thing. There's like, I think it's the scene where the Rebus is getting brought to life or whatever, and like everybody's staring like agape at it, and like death. It cuts to death like at one point, like open mouth, and I don't know why, but that just made me crack up a lot, because even he's like surprised. It's like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go on to the bad.
Like I sort of said earlier, I don't really like the fact that everybody gets a happy ending. I mean, obviously Carmilla doesn't get a happy ending, and Varney doesn't get a happy ending. But like most of the characters, it ends with them just like riding off in the sunset. And I especially didn't want Dracula to have a happy ending. Like Dracula was a bad dude. He killed a lot of people, okay? Like he doesn't get a second chance.
The villain of the series can't even be the villain.
Yeah, I know I said that I liked that this season was less edgy, but at the same time, like, this is a dark show, like, I would have been okay with, like, a somber ending. Like, I'm not saying that, like, everybody should have died or anything like that, but, like, it just feels very different, This season feels very different in a lot of ways, actually. Like, it's a lot more anime-like, Trevor does a Naruto run at one point. The world feels less like reality and more like fantasy. Like the other seasons kind of feel like they actually take place in like real medieval Europe and stuff, with the exception of the night creatures, In this one, it's just full on fantasy world,
Yeah.
Which is fine, but it's different. The season feels different, like in tone and in a lot of ways compared to the other show. And maybe that's not a bad thing, but I don't know. I feel like, I definitely feel like Dracula shouldn't have gotten a happy ending. And I know there's a bunch of articles on the internet saying this season totally stuck the landing, and I don't totally agree with that, Like, it's not Game of Thrones, but, this ending was still, it was cheesy, okay? That's what I'll say. The ending was cheesy.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed the first half of the season more than the ending.
Yeah. So one thing I'll bring up is this isn't really like as much bad as it is like, I guess, wasted potential, but you know how we've been complaining for the entirety of this series that, Grant never shows up?
Yeah.
I guess they could have swapped out Greta for Grant.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean, they could have swapped out a ton of characters for Grant, like with how many characters this season had, you could have had Grant, like,
Yeah. And I remember Warren Ellis's like big like thing on that, other than him thinking that Grant's last name was dumb, was that like it would be too hard to like have so many characters and like, give them a proper backstory. It's like, you don't even need to do that. It's like for freaking Greta, it's like, oh, I'm leading this village. It's full of people from all over who have been, dispersed by the night creatures and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, you could have done that for Grant. I mean, you could have just made him like one of the people who rebelled against Dracula or something. It's not that difficult.
There's just not enough time to have that many characters. Oh, by the way, here's 2 lesbian vampires that do nothing in the entire show.
I mean, that's
Like,
what it
yeah,
ended.
it's
That's how
yeah,
it ended for them.
yeah. You could have, yeah, you definitely could have had Grant in this, especially this season. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. And then, yeah, like, I don't know. Other things I would say, like, as far as, like, how a lot of the characters, like, arcs got resolved, like, anything negative is more or less how they were characterized in the show overall.
yeah,
So I don't know if I should really talk about that. It's like Isaac, Hector, and I guess now Dracula and his wife Lisa. You can't really call them the same characters from the games.
no, but
Or
I
Alucard, for
wouldn't
that
say I
matter.
wouldn't say they had like a complete character change. You know, like Isaac in season 3 is still very much Isaac in season 2. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hector in season 2 is the same as Hector in season 3. You know, the only characters that really feel like the same throughout the whole show is like Trevor and Sypha and I guess Alucard.
Yeah.
You know,
I guess
and when
it
I say
could,
the same, I mean like their character. Like maybe they go through character changes, but it feels natural to change that way. You know, having Isaac turn good just kind of felt like it came out of nowhere.
yeah, I mean, you could say the same thing with oh, what's his name turning bad? Saint Germain, like just
Yeah,
randomly.
yeah.
It's like
And
I guess
I don't hate Saint Germain's arc. I mean, I kind of think it's lame that it happened in between seasons, but you know, it did feel a little forced.
yeah, especially since his story doesn't really get resolved because you never find out who that woman actually is.
Which woman?
The one like, he's trying to find.
That's his wife. Yeah, I guess you don't really get to find out who it is, but
I
yeah.
don't think she's his wife, but she's like the love of his life or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. That's enough. That's enough for me.
Mm.
All right. What about the WTF though?
Do you have anything like small?
Some of the animation seemed a bit weird. There's a heavier emphasis on CGI. It's not awful, but it is kind of. That's why I'm putting it in the WTF category. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you there. There's some like clips that look just really, really weird. Like there's this one like at the end of like when Carmella's fighting like a bunch of Isaac's night creatures, it like gets really, really like low detail all of a sudden. And it's like,
Yeah.
what the hell am I looking at? This looks like a oh, whatchamacallit? It looks like a oh, what do you call those things that they do for like preliminary, like to set up scenes?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the exact word for it.
Why can't I think of the word? Damn it. But yeah, it looks like that, and it's kind of animated really choppily.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but the big thing, the big WTF for me is the ending.
Yeah, same.
Especially with regards to Dracula and Lisa.
Yeah.
Because I know like this is pretty much the end of this like story arc, the Dracula's Curse, Castlevania 3 / Curse of Darkness 1.
They've said they might make another Castlevania TV show that takes place in the same universe, but it'd be at a different time frame.
Yeah, and if they were to continue it, yeah, like I don't see how they can actually continue it.
Yeah.
That way, because
is Dracula gonna turn evil again because his wife died again? Nobody wants that, you know?
Yeah, really, I mean,
is he gonna be fighting death? No, we already killed him off, you know? Like, is it gonna be Frankenstein? Probably not, you know?
That's another WTF thing, because in the games, like, Death is like a servant of Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like his like right-hand man. Like, in this, he's like just something entirely different.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Well, he's kind of using Dracula to get what he wants.
Yeah.
Which is death, pretty much.
Yeah. I don't know, but the thing in the games that was always, like, I guess kind of, well, should be terrifying is that, like, Death answers to Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
And then here it's like, oh, they're not even related. Okay, that's not as cool. But
another WTF is like Trevor totally should have died in this season. What I mean by that is like when he fights the one mummy that can like teleport through walls. He gets like shot with so many spikes. I'm like, you're dead now. Like, I'm sorry. I've played Doom Eternal. I know what happens when you get hit by a Prowler. You're dead, Trevor. I'm sorry.
This probably wasn't intentional, but that mummy thing kind of looked like Grant's design from Castlevania Judgment, the emo mummy one.
It kind of did actually. It kind of did.
Yeah, I wonder.
So maybe Grant was in the show after all.
And he was undead and could teleport.
Yep. So, any other WTFs? Or I think we've pretty much covered everything for this.
Should I explain better, like why, like they can't really continue the series? I guess it's pretty obvious. I mean, like they don't have the main villain. Like if Dracula's been redeemed or whatever. Yeah. And then it would seem kind of pointless, like you said, to just rehash the same thing. Oh, his wife dies again. Yeah, I don't know. Like
it's just, and I'm totally fine with the show ending. You know, I'd rather have it end on a decent note.
That was another good thing I was thinking of. Another good thing. Well, I mean, the arc ended.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, it's like, it should have ended at the end of season 2.
Mm-hmm.
But they stretched it out to 2 more seasons, and it's like, I mean, I should say like the series, but the arc overall that's encapsulating the like Dracula's Curse game. But yeah.
So what do you rate this season? How many stars do you give it out of 5?
I would say I'm somewhere between 6.5 and 7. Or no, 6.5 and 7. Damn it. 3.25 and 3.5.
Okay, I think I'm pretty solid on a 4, maybe a 3.5, but they gave me pretty much everything I wanted. There's still a lot of dumb stuff in the season I didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I had a lot of fun. And I think one of the reasons I liked this season so much was just because I didn't like season 3 very much. So that could be clouding my judgment. If I went back and rewatched it, it'd probably go down in quality. But who knows? As of right now, I'm going to give it a 4.
Yeah.
A good time. Do we want to rank all of the seasons?
Oh, people are going to already know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So
2, 4, 1, 3.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know where to put one, because kind of like what we were talking before that we started recording. It's like it's kind of like season 0 almost. It's like it's too much a part of season 2.
Yeah, but and I feel like objectively, season 1 is probably better than season 4. But season 4 is way more fun.
Yeah. So, that's kind of fair. So, definitely 3, then, 2. And then I'd say 1 and 3 are 1 and 4 are kind of neck and neck for me. 1 for establishing, allowing us to have a season 2. And then 4 for, just kind of, resolving the series. Maybe not in the best way possible, but, ending it and then, giving us a good time. Then 3 for being, I don't know.
being the edgelord in the class.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you have anything else to say? I think that pretty much wraps up all of our thoughts.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's probably going to be a while before we talk about Castlevania again. I wouldn't mind doing something around Halloween.
Yeah.
For the games, that is.
Yeah, for the games.
So yeah, but I don't know. We haven't done like a news-ish type podcast in a long time. So maybe if we get some new news on whatever Netflix is wanting to do next, we can talk about that a bit, give our thoughts. Then I don't know, I got a list of videos that I want to do, but I thought about doing kind of like a breakdown of the series to go further in depth with what I think could have done better, but I don't know what they could have done better.
Part of me thinks that maybe we should do a podcast on where the show could go from now on. I mean, obviously we kind of said that it's kind of hard to see where it's going to go if Dracula's good, but like what the spinoff could be, just like a potential speculation video maybe.
Okay, I mean
because what is it? Isn't Trevor? He's Simon's grandfather, right?
No,
he's his dad.
No.
Oh, I thought they were closer related than that.
No, they're like 200 years apart.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
First Castlevania is like in the 1690s.
Mm-hmm.
Or Simon Belmont's time is like in this. Well, when he fights Dracula is in the 1690s.
Yeah.
Trevor Belmont's the 1490s, and then between them is Christopher Belmont in the 1590s, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, unless you're going by the Lords of Shadow canon, which you should not do, in that case,
I think I am,
Simon is the son of Trevor.
Okay. I think that's also how it was in the 1980s anime. We should do that video. Maybe that'll be the next one we make.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The Captain N.
Maybe we'll do that for Halloween. That'll be our Halloween special. Is the 1980s Castlevania anime.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Let us know which ones you want. Like, feel free to leave comments and stuff, especially if you've made it this far.
Yeah.
Don't start a flame war. We had that happen last year.
That was great. We had our first comment flame war, but it got deleted.
Yeah.
I'm upset. Yeah. But yeah, so like, I'd actually be down to do that, like, where the series could go, speculation. But this video is running kind of long. I think we could have tried to fit it in, but yeah.
Yeah, I will. I guess
All
we'll
right.
close it off now. I'm Robbie. And then this is what you say, I'm Connor.
No.
All right, never mind. All right, the video's ending now. Bye. Bleh.